Did he blast himself?
I don't know.
Did he not have the glasses on?
Yeah, I think he's asleep. I think he fell asleep.
Shit. You caught me, Joe. I need you to look right here, Joe.
No!
Just kidding. It's the lightsaber.
Jesus Christ.
I almost killed myself. It's a Sith lightsaber. So I can change the color to red with some awesome combination of button presses. Anyways, welcome, guys, to our Men in Black review. We got to see this film recently, and I guess I'll get right down to it.
Yeah.
Surprisingly good.
I really didn't want to see this. I thought
know.
I looked terrible.
I got you.
You
I
didn't
was
do
wrong.
I got you, mother. You thought it was going to be the worst. And then when you was in there, I saw him smiling, and that's the best you're going to get from Alex.
Yeah, there was no laughing, but there was
laughing on my part.
No,
I enjoyed
not for me.
film.
No, you guys were laughing.
There was a chuckle, and I was laughing. Yes.
Bullshit,
So was I. I would
chuckle.
be a man.
Go
All right, look,
see it.
I was wrong.
Yeah,
I
this was a
thought
good
this
movie.
was gonna be trash. What's that, Joe?
Did he
You're
make the
wrong
movie?
on a film? Yeah,
Looks like I
surprisingly, I am wrong on this. Right?
Yeah.
This was a very enjoyable film. I went out and I was like, okay, I will give this movie props.
Yeah.
I was entertained.
Mm-hmm.
I was entertained too, and that's all you can expect from it. I could see how you'd be worried from the trailer.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
really the trailer doesn't have the charm. This movie has the charm, and I think that's in clever writing because the jokes, while not necessarily laugh out loud, they were entertaining, they were funny. I think the main title characters, we have, Tessa Thompson as a new agent who's really excited, and you've got Chris Hemsworth, of course, the heartthrob, can do everything right, and they're put in a sort of galactic situation in order to save the Earth, as we've seen many times. This is, in fact, Men in Black 4, which I forgot there were so many Men in Black.
Yeah, that's why I thought this was going to be horrible. Because, like, the third one I saw, can't remember. The second one was, like, it was kind of going downhill for me. I was like, this couldn't be any better. But surprisingly, it was.
Yeah, I think the second one was the worst one, where he's like Tommy Lee Jones is like a postman or something like that. The first one was good, though.
The first one was really good.
And that's probably why I like this one, because it really reminds me a lot of the first one. The musical cues, I think the soundtrack is pretty good. Does a good job of evoking
it did have the Men
first.
in Black, though. That was a good song.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yes, the Men in Black song's not there, but I mean, they use the same score.
Smith. Yeah, doesn't have Will Smith in it.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, I like the original score, and they used it a lot in this one just to try to do everything they can to get back to the feelings of the original film, because 2 and 3 were terrible.
That too, though.
I did. Yeah, they did a good job.
I thought that it's an enjoyable ride. I thought the special effects were quite well handled. They have a nice mixture of practical effects and CGI. When it's CGI, it looks realistic. Of course, I love any type of laser futuristic weaponry, and if you're coming to see some of that, you get a really good scene where they keep pulling guns off of the car, and the guns keep getting crazier and crazier. Sort of some of the villains in the film are creative alien designs with sort of powers, and I was kind of glued to the screen. I really enjoyed how each scene within the Men in Black headquarters and within the alien worlds kind of thing had a lot to look at, and a lot of explanation behind it, and I just like the lore. I like aliens in general, and so I was fascinated with the film, and I didn't want to leave. I had to go to the bathroom, and I was like, no, I don't want to. I want to know. I want to soak it all in. So I was surprisingly enjoying myself. However,
Plot holes.
Doesn't make it completely, we praised it enough now.
It is really good. It is pretty good. It is not great.
Yeah.
It is
well,
filled
no,
with,
I think it's great. So I'm going to differ from you there.
Well, we'll talk about, we'll bring him back down to where we're at.
Yeah.
We bring up all of the massive plot holes and how nothing actually makes sense. But
You'll
it charmed the pants off me, and I mean, it
Jesus Christ! What are you doing?
Are you not impressed?
Put some pants on.
So, like this movie was super enjoyable, but it has all of the same problems that every Men in Black movie has, where there's like this. Everyone actually knows that there's this big galactic event, and be like, we're gonna send 2 people, and not even like the good 2 people. We're just gonna send 2 of them. We know there's a problem because we told you in the beginning. Yeah. And then they hint at all these side plots that go nowhere, and then the tropes. Oh my god, and the predictability. But it was still entertaining the entire way.
I think the side plots do go places, but the issue is the film is predictable. It is filled with tropes. It is filled. You see the twist coming from a mile away. Mm-hmm. You see where the plot points are going. They even set up a cute little character, and you're like, okay, I know that's going to pay off later in an unsurprising way, and it does, and it feels a little contrived. It feels written in there. But you know what? Despite all of that, just the charm, the superior writing, and the acting rises above it all and still makes it a legitimate film. It doesn't actually need to reinvent the wheel to be entertaining.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wasn't too keen on the climax part. Mm-hmm. The ending kind of lowered some points for me. Oh. But the chemistry between Tessa and Chris was still there. Yeah, I love this duel.
Great little buddy adventure between them, and you kind of believe their relationship as it develops. Yeah. And they don't really, necessarily put it in your face with some annoying love story, but
they're just great partners and whatnot. That's what I took it as. But the big surprise to me was Kumail. That one, that one stole the show for me.
Yeah.
At first, I was like, "Oh, what is this? This just looks like a stupid gimmick."
So before we started the film, these two are griping. Johnny dragged me to these things. Look at that stupid little guy character on the shoulder, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" Oh, Joe, all right, I'm gonna take a picture of this, in anticipation that we're gonna make fun of this thing. And what happened, Joe?
He stole the show from me.
He's the best part of the film. In fact, not only did he steal the show, he saved the film.
Yeah, because I don't buy the relationship as hard as OJ did. I think that they definitely have chemistry, and I loved them in Ragnarok, and I thought they were pretty good here. But they were flat the entire time. Until his name is Pawny or something.
Well, I don't know about flat the entire time, but not quite, Thor Ragnarok levels.
It didn't pop. Like there was nothing about it that like made me really enjoy their time together until he showed up, and then I really started to enjoy both of them, and I bought the whole buddy cop thing, but it didn't really kind of come together until he showed up. So
but
it was really
this
important.
Character whose name is Pawn is so funny. Yeah. The majority of jokes, he's the comedic relief. And almost all of his jokes land. I fucking loved him. And and this guy's comedy has that sort of nonchalantness, sarcastic style. So good. And sometimes it clashes with what's happening on screen. You're like, wait a minute, you should be in horror. What's happening here? And he's kind of just treating it like a casual, whatever. Oh, you want? Okay, let's go. Kind of thing. But it's that. But I think it plays really well into his type of comedy and, what makes you laugh about that stuff. So I thought that was pretty well done.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of the other... this kind of falls into the same thing that the first Men in Black, where the aliens provide a lot of the comic relief, and they kind of break the tension that they... whatever tension exists in a Men in Black movie, and it's really necessary because there was a couple other characters that I really liked. They weren't big in there, but you see these kind of symbiotic relationships between like what you think to be a human being and like an alien that lives on his face, and those characters
creative alien designs. And what I appreciated is there wasn't a whole lot of shoving in your face. Hey, you remember this from the first film? Do you remember this from the first film? Now, while they respect the first film because it's within the same universe, and they do have characters that have been in the first film, they're literally in there for like 1 second. You blink, you miss them. They'll drop one line,
I like
maybe
how
laugh off.
They weren't really trying to lean on that
exactly.
Too much. They did their own thing.
Right, and that could be annoying if they had focused on that. But no, they focused on this new team. It was obviously Men in Black International. And honestly, Americans, I think, would have every reason not to go to the film. I don't know why. Anytime it's like named international or it's in the UK, I think, Americans don't quite gravitate towards that.
I wasn't going to watch it.
that, right? Well, it had nothing because it's not about y'all. It's not about us. It's not about New York.
It had nothing to do with like them being international. It's just like they advertised this movie so poorly.
Yeah, they kind of did as well. But I think both of those points together, I think it might underperform at the box office, and I do think that's a shame because I think that you would be pretty entertained if you went to see this this weekend. So let's go ahead and make this a short one, and we'll get into some spoilers here in the spoiler section. Let's go ahead and give some final verdicts.
I would highly recommend you go out and see this film. It is a good time. I had a quick turnaround as soon as it started. I was like, all right, I'm going to take everything I said, and I'm sorry for what I said. It was not trash. It was actually pretty good. I'm going to give this a 7. I like the chemistry between them two. The CGI was great. You see more of these creatures and whatnot. But I kind of wanted to see Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
For some reason. I want to see him as a bigger role, but I was okay with the way this played out.
Alex?
I'm going to agree. I think this is a 7 out of 10. It's not great. I think it misses. There's some things that, on the long ride back from the theater, I was just thinking about, it's like, man, that doesn't make any sense. Wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. But I didn't care about that at all when I was watching it, so kind of and I wasn't thinking this was going to be good going in, so it totally won me over. It was adorable. It was cute. It was worth watching. So 7 out of 10.
There are definitely plot holes. There are definitely visual moments in the film that you're kind of getting something like traveling from New York to London underground, and you see light and things like this, and it's like, really, somebody would notice that these men in black exist and things like that from satellite imagery where there's no chance for them to get flickered with the thing. So yeah, there's lots of little things like that. You could nitpick this movie to death, but I think what makes it good is it rises above that with entertaining action sequences that aren't necessarily over the top but do provide you some visual candy. You got some good performance. Chris Hemsworth just does so great as the funny man, rather than some kind of serious guy or something like that. He does this in Thor Ragnarok. If you enjoyed Thor Ragnarok, you're going to enjoy it here. However, it's not the level of Thor Ragnarok, so don't let that fuck up your expectations. I came in with about average expectations. If you set your expectations average and low, you're going to come out on top. So just realize that it's not going to blow you away if you're already high expectations and you go in. Even then, you'll still be entertained, but it's not perfect or by any means. So, well, I originally was going to give it an 8 out of 10, but I have that problem being excited and having fans. I'm a fan of sci-fi. I'm a fan of aliens. But I know when we get into the spoilers, there's going to be lots of moments that I'm reminded with the plot holes and potentially bring it down to a 7. So, I'm going to taper my expectations. And my final score and give it a 7 out of 10, a very solid 7 out of 10, and a recommendation to go see it in theaters. All right?
Here's another thing I wanted to say. There's one, I guess it was a tagline that said, expanding the universe. They don't really expand the universe here. Like, you go to one MIB to another MIB, but you don't really get to touch on the other stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's
which is good.
Kind of knocked it down.
Not a huge expansion of the universe.
Oh, there's London. It's like, but show me like the underground stuff.
What would have been an expansion of? Well, let's talk about that in spoilers. So thank you guys so much for watching. Stick around if you want spoilers. If not, I'll see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys. Guys, welcome to the spoiler section. So right away, I'll expand on that. What would have been an expansion of the universe for me is if we saw a different alien planet or if we traveled away from Earth. I know the whole Men in Black thing is supposed to be they protect Earth at all costs, but it would have been nice to see that. So what kind of plot holes are we talking here, Alex? Remind us.
There's this space alien royalty that comes to Earth, and he's transporting a weapon, and it's supposed to be really important to keep it away from the hive. And so when he constantly is referencing that Chris Hemsworth has changed somehow, and he even grabs him and physically detects that he's changed somehow and says, "I don't trust you anymore because you've changed." That went fucking nowhere. It was a total red herring because they're trying to be like, he can be the alien. He's the hive. He's the hive. But it's like, but he wasn't. So what the fuck was that about? Like,
right. Well, you're absolutely right. So the only thing it could have been referencing is the fact that he is, heartbreak because he broke up with Ryza, who is this underground.
But he was being honest with her, and he said that, look, it was just like, it started out as a job.
Exactly.
And anyway, I love Rebecca Ferguson. Is amazing.
Mission Impossible, I think she was in. She's amazing in this. At first you think, well, wait a minute, she just looks like a normal human being, but no, she's got a third arm, and they have a really impressive fight scene between her and Tessa Thompson, and I thought it was well done, well executed. She kicks ass while Chris Hemsworth gets his ass kicked by her personal bodyguard, which is this big blue teddy bear, but he's very vicious. That we saw in the beginning. So this is some of the tropey, pretentious stuff. Well, not pretentious, just tropey and, predictable. As a little girl, Tessa Thompson, and her fascination with the Men in Black came from when this alien landed in her backyard, and her parents got zapped, so they don't know about it, but she was secretly watching, and she knows about it. And a little dude comes up to her, and apparently it's this aggressive thing, but he looks super cute, so she's super nice to him. She's like, run, let go, and go, you're free. And then he says something to her like a Zora,
but he's like, Molly.
Right.
I was like, all right,
and Molly, what's gonna happen later on. That's gonna come into play, and he's gonna save her.
What are the chances?
Later on, it comes into play. He's like, wait a minute,
the universe puts you where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, you're blue, he's blue, and you're of that alien race. And then she says the Zabadoobity, and he's like, how do you know that? And she's like, Molly, yeah. And so then he turns on this underlord lady that Chris Hemsworth used to date, and they get back the MacGuffin thing, the fucking gun that will save them from the hive.
Because the phrase that he tells her when he was a little cute, adorable thing, he's like, I will murder whoever you want in the most gruesome, painful way.
But it was like
but it was a cute thing. But then it's like, that's what it means. It's like, oh, okay.
I like that.
So that's why he turned the gun. I was
and I also like these two dreadlock guys that are fucking badass dance moves, but that's because they're trying to blend into the club. And they come down. I like their alien forms. They're like fucking ethereal, like, just fucking galaxies almost.
They looked really cool.
Really cool.
I didn't.
But their powers were inconsistent.
You also find out that they're not bad guys. They're good guys the entire time, but they act like dickheads for no reason the entire movie.
Oh shit! Was that the part where I had to go? I was probably in the bathroom. I thought they were after that. Oh no! Later on, they said, "Well, maybe those." They present the idea that maybe those were guys, and it's like you fucking killed them.
Because they were like, "We need this for the hive.
We need this to protect ourselves from the hive. We're on your side. Everyone in the universe is against the hive because they're taking over everybody."
So I guess they don't know how to communicate with humans. Is that the excuse?
Well, they can communicate with little Pawny, and they can't fucking figure it out.
That's true. They actually even talk, and that was another kind of ridiculous part where these guys are so powerful they can like fucking use atoms and shit in order to break apart the earth or turn it into liquid and things like that, but yet they can't go and kill the guy themselves. They have to go to Pawny's race, who Pawny has a queen that he serves, and they're like, I want you to kill this target. But then later on they do the killing. Only thing they needed the Pawny race for is this special little fucking poison that flies really fast.
Yeah.
They could have fucking killed him themselves.
Hey, I'm okay because we got Pawny at the end.
Well, we ended up getting Pawny, but like the reason that this dude brings the weapon to Earth is to protect it, because the guy who they assassinate is also against the hive. So literally everyone is on the same team, but they're killing each other for no. You find out at the end of the movie for no goddamn reason.
And they don't say like sorry, and we've made things up with that race. No, we fucking killed them. Well, of course it's Liam Neeson's character that actually shoots and kills the. Those galactic aliens.
Kills the galactic aliens,
but actually with the help of the rest of the MIB.
But the galactic alien showed up and killed the guy with the weapon, and they're on the same team. He's like, we need to assassinate this guy. Wait, why? Why do we need to assassinate this guy? He holds the weapon to kill our enemy.
Yeah, there's some plot holes there. Maybe there's some deleted scenes that explains like miscommunication, or they thought that he was going to. That they want that weapon and they'll do anything to get it, even killing the guy, because they don't think that race of miners is capable of fighting the Hive. I don't know. But another scene that makes you wonder is like, Pawny's scene where his whole fucking race is dead. He's the last of his kind. His queen is dead. And he's just like nonchalant about the whole thing. He's like, yeah, no, everything's fine.
It's like, oh yeah, we just had a party here.
Yeah.
Connie dropped this whole album.
Connie
Everyone's dead. What do you think?
Everybody's fucking dead. So, but and then he doesn't notice his queen's still alive. She's like, he runs over there. He's like, oh no, my
I thought she was gonna say something, but she's like,
it was just put there writing because he needed a new queen. So Tessa Thompson's character M becomes his new queen, and he pledges his loyalty to her. And you're into it, because he's a funny character. He's a cute little dude, and he says awesome things. And he was a great addition to the cast. Without him, it would probably
I do not think I would have liked this movie without him. Like he saved this movie for me.
It would have been far more boring for sure. Because it wouldn't have been a bad film, but it wouldn't have been anywhere near as entertaining as it was.
We just shit on all the plot holes and things, but when I'm watching it, I didn't notice them. I mean, you think about them, you're like, that doesn't make any sense, but you would quickly move on because everything's so good when you're watching
suspension of disbelief. When you're enjoying it, when things, are moving along at good pace and you're being entertained, you care a little less about the nitpicks.
But a lot of it...
what the fuck does this subway exist for? You've got a fucking rocket car that'll go
to hyperspace. They go to hyperspeed.
Go into space and come back
down. Because it takes more MIB agents.
I know, but just so they could do the cool transition effect, which they didn't. They just do a reverse shot of that when they go back and shit like that. But okay, so I also really respected the fact that they didn't do some love story between the male and the female. And another good thing, there was a mutual respect.
There's a will they won't they thing like constantly going on.
No, there's not. Maybe towards the end.
At the very end of the film, she's like, "You have to go to America," and she's looking at him like.
No, and I respect that because that was more. They could still be apart, that they're partners, and it's kind of sad that they're gonna separate. And she's going back to New York, and he's gonna be at London. And the film's like, yeah, that's the way it is. This is the hard reality of the MIB.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the plot holes. That there's only 26, 27. Oh my God, how many letters are there? 26 letters in the alphabet, and there's like 375 agents across a lot of different. I guess the agents share letters, so there's like 300 M's and there's like 271 J's and things like that. But yeah, that stuff, it just doesn't matter. You're just having so much fun.
To me, the nitpick I had was the inconsistency of the weapon. She put it on the lowest setting, and the first time she shoots it,
creates a Grand Canyon.
Throughout the whole desert. Then at the very end, she turns that shit all the way up, and it's just a straight beam. I was like,
and it's a small beam. But the end point
no
blows
way.
up
This
the Hive
thing,
mothership, Joe, in
like
the sky.
Like a star. It was like some kind of giant thing. Yeah. Come on.
I do agree.
You would have taken out the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
You would have taken out the Earth.
Everything.
A chunk of the Earth, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like, one thing I did like about this is they completely erase from your memory Men in Black 2 and 3. Because they're in T's like lounge, they show these great paintings of the times that the Men in Black have saved the Earth. And you see Will Smith and Jay
painting of
like
Will
fighting
Smith.
the roach, and then you see T and Chris Hemsworth fighting something else.
In Paris.
Those are the only two times they're like, no, we've only saved the Earth twice. Forget the other.
Right.
Forget the other ones.
And so once they save everything, and Liam Neeson's character comes back, congratulates her, and says, "I knew you had it in you." There's a father-son kind of thing going on with H's character, but they both kind of sense that something's not quite right, and this is the thing that the audience knows from the very beginning, because when they show a flashback of fighting this race of Hive, in the Great Paris Victory. But they don't ever show you the victory. So the Hive is here. They didn't win it. And it turns out that H is the one. And they play around with this. They say, well, maybe they make you think with red herrings that it's, Chris Hemsworth.
He's H, and then T is the other one.
Or it's his jerk, rival at the headquarters, who's the smarter guy, always sucking up to the boss.
C or something.
C, yeah. And they make it look like maybe it's him, and then maybe a little bit of H as well, the leader in London branch. And it turns out to be H. He was the Hive hiding.
But the Men in Black knew from day one that there was potentially a traitor, and it was probably H, because they tell you at the end of the movie, oh yeah, remember I sent you there because we figured there was probably a traitor there, but we didn't do anything about it. We sent a rookie there to do it.
So the High T is who he's talking about from New York, the lady who recruited Tessa Thompson.
It's just a weird thing.
It is a weird
sending
thing.
the rookie.
Yeah. There may be a traitor. The most decorated agent of all time may be a traitor. So I'm going to send this person I don't know.
First day on the job.
First day.
Go ahead.
You go take care of it.
Wait, what?
She was the top of her class, top marks, 97th percentile.
Of course, she was also the bottom of her class.
Great,
because she was the only person in her class.
Great scene of her seeking out the MIB. Which, yeah, the thing started with a little bit of Rocky, some contrivances there just for dramatic impact, that she goes to the CIA. She goes to all these high-level fucking organizations, and she's scoring really fucking high. She's obviously smart, talented, got combat prowess, and she keeps asking about the aliens because that's how she grew up, and she's got a fascination with it. But then she doesn't get in there like... She's like, you know, the top level, you know, the other guys. Can I be in that division? He's like, accounting? And he's like, no,
accounting is always a top.
And she realizes, no, that's not it. But so she gives up, and she's in a fucking telemarketing center. Yeah. Seriously, like this dead end job. She could have just been a private fucking investigator and tried to find the aliens on her own. But she's in a dead end job, and apparently she can use this call center computers to hack into the fucking Hubble telescope. And track alien craft.
Duh.
No. So, like, that was Rocky as fuck. But then once we get all that, past all that shit to set up
it got worse after that, because then they show you that the MIB can hide these hidden zones, but pigeons somehow fly through walls and shit. And so no one notices that, like, pigeons are, like, flying through walls. It's like, what the fuck is happening?
No one pays attention to pigeons, though.
I like the fact that to try to explain, you know, well, this whole fucking block is wrecked. You see cars doing flips and shit, so they had to have some kind of explanation, even if it doesn't make sense, Alex. At least they address that little bit. But no,
you're talking about after the fight?
She first finds the aliens coming down to Earth, and it's like the traditional green man from the Inquirer guy.
That got me.
Yeah.
And what was he? He's like trying to visit his girlfriend or something?
At first, she was keeping a track on it, and you see one of those stupid magazines.
The National Enquirer or something.
Like, oh, I had alien babies.
All right.
You'll be back on Tuesday to visit. So that's why she was monitoring.
And they find him, they intercept him, the MIB takes him. He's like, hey, man, I'm just trying to see my kids.
Yeah. He's like, get out of here,
that was
Jerry.
stupid, but he got me.
Or something like that. Just really good jokes in there, and I think you should see it. I think it's good. Is there anything else that we can spoil or talk about there? Obviously, you know, Tommy Lee Jones or Will Smith, they're not in this. You know, you don't get any cameos. You do get to see the poster. So I'm wondering if they're thinking that maybe if this does well enough, they can ask Will Smith back. I would probably steer them away from that. I would say, you know what? We've seen 3 films with him. He's probably fucking tired of that. Even though, you know, he's willing to take other roles like, you know, Suicide Squad 2. No, he's out. He's more... He's probably pretty tired of playing.
See, but as much as I like this one, I don't know if I want to see another one.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: if it's the same writing crew, I see what you're saying. Pawny would have to be in it again.
Yeah. Well, rank. So, where do you think this one falls in all of the Men in Black? Because I don't think this one is better than the first Men in Black. The first Men in Black, I think, is still the best.
Yes,
then this one.
Yeah, then this one.
And then, like, I don't remember which is worse, 3 or 2, but they're both terrible.
2 is probably worse than 3.
But I remember where we went after Men in Black 1 to Men in Black 2.
Josh Brolin was up in 3, and I think it was all right. It just wasn't all that great. No, you're right. And I think we're going to get diminishing returns here as we got diminishing returns in the original franchise. You're right. If they try to bring back Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson, they need to bring back Pawny. If they don't bring back Pawny, I'm out. But I'm willing to do
best
another
character
one.
now.
Yeah. I'm willing to do another one. They seem to be right on. No, you don't want another one.
No, I'm good without it.
Well, there's nothing at the end of the credits, so don't stay. When we were at the theater, I was thinking, are they looking to build a franchise here? But apparently Sony's like, well, you know, and I like that. I like the fact that it's like let this stand on its own, and if people really enjoy it, then we'll explore that possibility. So many movies these days, especially with big franchises like this, overstep their bounds and try to set up sequels hardcore in the original.
What is Sony doing? There's an embargo. Like we saw this, and we can't talk about this until whenever you
morning.
Yeah. But that they don't usually put these on for movies that are good, and this movie was
good.
Good.
It seems like Sony did not have confidence.
They advertised
like you said,
it.
The advertising is
terrible.
Really shitty.
Like the advertising was really, really bad, and then plus there's an embargo. And if I was just the average consumer going, I'm not going to see that movie. One, it looked terrible, and two, there's an embargo, and you should see it.
You should see it. Maybe there were a bunch of reshoots to make it better, but you know what? When other reviewers go into that stuff, like, I don't give a fuck. So as long as it's a complete product, when I see it, then I'm going to assess what's put together. Yeah. Now, if it's a bad film, then you can go in and research, okay, now that makes sense because there was reshoots and things like that. So this may have had some trouble in production, or maybe not. It is puzzling why Sony didn't have more confidence in it, because I think ultimately it's a good film, and not an excellent film, but one that you'd be entertained by. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next Angry Joe show. But I need you to first look right here.
And you're dead.
How the fuck do I get red?
Well, before he flashes your memory, make sure you check out some merch.
Yeah, we need to do that too. So I don't know what he's gonna.
You're
not gonna figure it out.
He's gonna flash himself.
I'm trying to get fucking red. I don't know what combination you need to press in order to get red. I had never even knew.
Don't look into it.
That it would do. There we go. Red. You probably can't even see it, actually, because of the green screen. All right. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. And check out some merch. Check out our display store down there. And please subscribe. Support the show. Appreciate that. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.